Hello, Gemini. How are y'all doing today? Hold on, let me just. I have to mute my computer while I do this because you'll hear all these annoying ass sounds of notifications popping up. I don't even want to hear it. So why would you? All right, perfect. So welcome. If you have stumbled across this space, my name is Ashley Indigo. I'm here to help you see what you can't see, hear what you can't hear, and feel what you can't feel. And today, Gemini, we are going to be doing the December monthly energy reading. I'm hoping that we can get some resolutions, Jemmy, because we are moving into next month. It'll be a fresh new year, 2022. If we add all the twos together, we come up with six, what I like to call big six energy. So the year of self-love is coming up. The year of justice is coming up. The year of self-growth, consciously trying to connect with the childlike part of us, which, I mean, honestly, you're already tapped into the childlike part, Jemmy. That's why you're so great with children. But more love is never a bad thing in this world. That's exactly what we need in this world today. So I'm very excited to go ahead and do your card reading, Jemmy. Today we're going to switch shit up a little bit. I get bored fast. So normally when we do the readings, I will do a three cards from my Lightseers Tarot deck, and then I will do 11 words from Yeshua. We're not doing that today. I'm gonna switch some shit up, okay? Because I feel like different situations call for different things. Today we are going to use the Psychic Tarot deck, which I love because if you've been with me for the past couple of months, you've seen that I read numbers, I read colors, I read energies and pictures, and I read those things. And this deck dives a lot into that. It's just kind of all there, for me to pick. And I read colors, so I just like it. I like the different energy. I feel like it's what we need the most here. And then I have an Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck, which we all have ancestors. We all have guardian angels. We all have angels, like, if there's a loved one who passed and they're helping me from the other side, the part of life that I can't see. Because remember, baby, life is multi-sensory, not five sensory. Don't ever get it fucked up. Don't ever think that it's just the five senses. Us humans are capable of so much more because we don't know our God and we don't know who we are. We don't know what we're capable of. So we're moving into a time with the self-love. The ancestors are going to be working in the backgrounds, pulling all the hamstrings kind of for those new blessings that are about to come into. Because with love, with actual internal love, when this works correctly, this works correctly. When they work correctly, all the things that we dream of for ourselves and the things that our hearts want, our heart's desires, those start to manifest physically. And, it's a war going on. It's a spiritual war going on. And we have our ancestors. We have our family on the other side in the angelic realm who are rooting for us, helping things go the way that they need to for us, so we can really feel the love coming into 2022. So I'm very excited about that. I'm excited to do this reading. So let's bust it out. Okay. First three cards that I'm going to pull from here. It's going to be my Psychic Tarot. I don't even know why, because I've barely even used it. I've barely even used that. The Psychic Tarot deck. This one is a beautiful one. Okay. Perfect. If I see it, I got to pick it. Those are the rules. It's the rules that I give myself. So far, though, it's looking good. The theme of love is going to be very strong. What I would personally like to do, love is my favorite word. I would like to take a conscious effort to try to change the way that we look at love. Like, change the way that we look at the importance of love and what it is. We already are love. It's not anything you have to buy, honey. It's not anything you have to purchase, Gemini. You are actually already love. We all are. We come from God. And what is God? God is love. He's the original energy. I'm not even going to do it. Sorry. Okay, Jemmy. I'm liking what I see here. I feel like we've been spending some time together these past couple of months. I feel like everything that we're discussing or everything that we have discussed, I feel like y'all are really out here pulling it together. So first of all, Gemini, I want to say congratulations for learning how to control your emotions consciously. If you have not done that, if emotional intelligence is not something that you feel you've picked up, be kind and be gentle to yourself, because we never really realize how much progress we've made until it's showtime, till it's time to see how much progress we've made, okay? Let's go ahead and dive right in. So 6, I see harmony, okay? Now with these cards, when there's this black background around them, this is just focuses on the themes, like it's the actual themes. This is what they would call like the, in this deck, I believe this is the major arcana in this deck. Let me double check, because I can't be out here giving y'all the, not good information. All right, perfect. Yep, this is part of the major arcana. Okay. So here I see harmony. The obvious thing is relationship harmony, okay? They touch hands and it's green. Green is 4th heart chakra energy. That's this space, the heart space right here, or pink, because there's an upper and lower, the different chambers of the heart. They have different colors, but so anyways, this is heart chakra space, okay? So this guy is really into this girl, and this girl is kind of looking at him like, where have this guy is really dreamy, like affectionate. And the girl is kind of just like, where have you been all my life? It's very deep for her. Very, very deep for her. I see flowers. So this could be a brand new relationship that's blossoming. This could be a old relationship, or not an old relationship. It could be an old relationship that's blossoming. It could be a new relationship that's blossoming, an old relationship that's blossoming, or if you're currently in a union, if you're currently in a relationship, this could be a renewal of freshness in the relationship, a renewal of harmony. As we move into 2022, which if we add those together, that's 6, big 6 energy. As we move into the energy of love and the energy of self-love, we are going to be creating things that are authentic. We're going to be creating more authentic discussions, more authentic friendships, more authenticities when it comes to our families, the families that we grew up in, the families that we create. So this theme is definitely accurate. Harmony. Gemini, I love you, Gemini, but I've been noticing you've been catching a lot of shit out here in the streets. I assume you've come to me because you want to be real with yourself. And I feel like you can handle it. So I don't feel like you're one of those signs that I kind of need to tone it down and be soft with. Because if anything, I know that y'all know how to dish it out. And one thing about me is I feel as if you can dish it out, then you need to be able to fucking take it. Okay? If we've come to this far and there's some children along for this ride, anyone under the age of 18, everything here might not resonate for you. My messages really aren't for children because we can only hold accountable the ones that know better. When I was a child, I did childish things, but when I'm no longer a child, it's time to come out of those childish ways. So I got some small ones in here. You should probably, this ain't the message for you, okay? Geminis, I have a Gemini daughter, a Gemini Cancer child. I have a Gemini son. And father of my children is a Gemini. But one thing that I knew, Geminis were always my party buddies. They were always someone I could hang out with. It was always when I wanted to have a good time. It was always gang, okay? The one thing that I am going to say is that, excuse my laptop, I got to get it fixed. The devil stay working on me in little ways. One thing that I'm going to say is, I knew when my daughter was growing up, like I said, Gemini's favorite party buddy, love to kick, love to hang out, but Geminis are two-faced, okay? Let's just put that. And if you feel as though you're not two-faced, maybe it's because you have a moon sign that kind of gets in the way of that two-facedness, because there's signs out there who, Taurus, they're loyal, Capricorns, not as loyal as a Taurus, but you know what I'm saying? any of you, like a Cancer, some of those softer signs, you might not be the most two-faced person. But Geminis, without a shadow of a doubt, they're two-faced. They have two faces. The Gemini stands for the twin. So when we think of Geminis, when I think of Geminis, first they're sour, then they're sweet. Sour Patch Kids. Okay? That is a Gemini. Y'all have done a lot of fucked up shit. And because of that, that has made your heart cold. You've been cold out here in these streets. And you're so used to being this way that you'll be cold as ice. But when it comes to children, when it comes to babies, the kids can have anything they want. That's that soft Gemini heart. You're always going to open it up for the kids, but you've let the fucked up things you do, maybe some things that you regret, get to you. There might have been a time where things were happening to you and you felt like, oh, this is karma, this is karma, this is karma, and you might have felt like you deserved it. We all make mistakes, Gemini. We're all going to make mistakes. This world is designed to crush the spirit. This world is designed to close the heart portal, to close the heart space. This world is designed for us to think that the heart and the head do not work together, that they work against each other. You actually have a leg up, Gemini, because you're an air sign. You're an intellectual. So thinking comes easy to you. You like to talk. You like to communicate. Some of y'all might have 2, 3 phones, all the hottest electronics, because that is what y'all do, that y'all communicate. Geminis are actually God's messengers, like perfect prime example of a messenger. My favorite, June 16th, Tupac, the messenger of all messengers. He was a real prophet. If you listen to his music, if you listen to his interviews, and you're a person of God, you can look at another person of God and you can tell a person of God. You feel it when they speak. You know what I'm saying? When they speak, it's just transformative. So Anyways, you may have done some things that you are not proud of, but I want to tell you that you still deserve love. If you're thinking that there's something that you have done, and maybe God doesn't love you, God is never going to stop loving you. He loves you. He's always going to. But we have free will, Gemini. And sometimes, even though you're smart as fuck, you don't make the right decisions. I feel like you might even have, like, because you're double, I feel like you might even have a brain that, and it's kind of like the relationship with the higher self and the lower self in everyone, really. I feel like it's symbolic of that. But I think instead of having more control over it, like other people do, you just switch back and forth in those roles. First they're sour, then they're sweet. You just can't help it. I'm going to need you to gain control. How do you gain control? You need to start not only thinking from here, Gemmy, but thinking from here, okay? When we think from the heart space, and what's going to happen is as we go into January next month, our heart is opening. Our heart is getting bigger. It's actually expanding. Like, okay, the Grinch, everyone hurt his feelings and he was all upset about Christmas and then he was all embarrassed, and they show that graphic, like on the one with Jim Carrey, where his heart actually shrinks. Like it shrivels up because he's so cold. The heart gets bigger and the heart can get smaller. It can enlarge and it can get smaller. It pumps. So of course we know, that it expands, and you are still very much deserving of love, but there's 6 energy on this card. Continue to prove to yourself that you love yourself. How do you prove to yourself that you love yourself, Gemini? Be yourself and feel like being yourself is good enough. Don't feel like you have to conform to anything that you don't agree with, okay? I don't think you're a follower, because we know that Geminis are bosses. We know that y'all get shit done. But I feel like you carry the battle the most. And everyone's having that battle of the mind. But I feel like my intellects will be having that battle a little bit more. Head and heart. Which one do I choose? Sometimes, honey, I know you're an intellect and you get off and you take pride in the fact that you're such an excellent thinker. But we both know you're a shitty feeler unless it comes to the children. There has to be balance. So the only way to have something like this going on is to remember to love yourself. One of my favorite things that they say in the Bible when they talk about the Bible, and Jesus says is, above all else, be kind. Being kind isn't always about being kind to people outside of us. Sometimes it's about being kind to yourself. Sometimes it's about being kind, and 6 reminds you this, of the inner child. Connecting with that inner child. Self-love is definitely a theme, but I feel like if you work on your self-love, if you work on the mind chatter in the mind, on what you tell yourself when nobody's around about yourself, of what you feel about yourself when no one is around, you'll start to see these relationships manifest physically with another person. Love is not anything that you need to buy, Gemini. Love cannot be purchased. You are love, honey. You're already love. Love already exists in you. You were created in God's image. We talked about this. God is love. He's the original energy. The original energy is love. So if we are made in his image, this means that we were made from love. So if you're already made from love, Gemini, you're an intellect. Let's get it intellectual now. If you're already made from love, why would you have to get it from something outside of you? We are the source of love. We are the source of light. And the mistake that we too often make, Gemini, is thinking that people outside of us can give us love. If we don't feel love already, it doesn't matter how much love they give us, we'll never feel it. I don't think people understand that. If I'm a miserable person and I'm expecting love from Joe Schmo, okay? I'm feeling down. I love Joe Schmo. It's Joe Schmo's job to make sure that I feel good. Wrong. It's Joe Schmo's job to make sure that he feels good. Okay? He is not responsible. He or she is not responsible for your happiness. That is a lot of pressure to put on someone else. Here's my happiness. You're in charge of it. I don't feel love, so now you have to make me feel it. It doesn't work like that. Love is internal. The trick, Satan fills me with the tricks. The trick is that love is outside of you. The trick is if you lose weight, they'll love you more. The trick is if you make more money, they'll love you more. You know? And with that trick comes the ultimate trick, that you're not good enough. You don't have love because you don't deserve it. You don't have love because you're not good enough. That's what the devil will tell you when he can. If you're about your shit and you're solid and you love yourself and you love God and vice versa, you know that when the devil comes, that's chitter chatter. You know that he's sending your number one hater to try to talk you down, but you don't give a fuck because you're so solid in self-love. Gemini, you're a doer. You do, you think, you help. It's time to start doing for yourself, thinking for yourself, and helping your damn self. Actually, I'm not even going to explain myself because y'all know where I'm coming from. I feel like y'all can dish it out. Y'all need to be able to take it. What I'm telling you right now, this is why y'all get a lot of hate out here in these streets. Because all the tricky shit. All the tricking and sneaking, but it's like, keep it real. Be honest with yourself. If one of your two brains, because you're the twin, ain't gonna keep it real with you, who will? I really like to equate the twin, and I thought about this a couple days ago, to the angel and the devil on the shoulder. Okay, got the angel over here on the right. You got the devil over here on the left. And what about you? Being the twin, you're either this or you're this. The middleman's cut out. This is you or this is you. It just depends on the day, the time, the person, the situation. You got to get that shit together. I feel like harmony, because the word here is harmony also, I feel like you need to get into harmony with your higher self, aka your 3-year-old self. 3-year-olds are sneaky. They love to tell a joke. but they are not just flat out fucking grimy. Like they're just not. That is learned and taught behavior. But where we're going, the elevation of frequency, the elevation of consciousness, you can't take that shit with you. So you will get left in the dust if you don't figure out how to take care of it, Gemini. Now, you're an intellect. All right. Sorry about that. Sorry, my baby. So yeah, get into alignment, get into harmony. And a lot of you that are working really hard on this, working really hard, y'all like to read self-help books. Now is the time, honey. It's time to study up. It's time to be the very best that you can be, aka who God designed you to be. You don't got time to play small no more. Get into it. Get into alignment with that higher self. Get to know your inner child. Do the research, okay? 18 shadow. Okay. So here's a guy, and you know, it's a representation, okay? There are some really dark parts to you, Gemini, you feel. Like I said, this goes back to like, how can God love me? I've done this, I've done that. How can this person love me? You know, all the flaws, all the things that you don't like about yourself. Learn to love it. Learn to love them. See, if we sit back and think about a few things, Gemini, if you're watching this video, you're still here. You are still here. When you open your eyes, you get to experience sunlight. When we experience sunlight, we're experiencing God's grace. So when you wake up every day, no matter how small it feels in here, no matter how in here you are, because you're an intellect. So I imagine you spend a lot of time in here thinking about things and planning and whatnot. You're not even looking at the big picture of the fact that, honey, you're getting to see God's grace. So that means that God is not done with you yet. That means that he still has a plan for you. He has a plan for all of us. But because we have free will, he can't force us into that plan. We have to choose. We have to make the right choices to get to the plan. Does that make sense? He has a will for us. The best. What parent doesn't want the best for their child? But if I'm choosing all the wrong turns, there's no way I'm going to get here, because he can't intercept with our free will, our choice. We have choices. That's why it's so important you find balance between the angel and the devil, the two mindsets that you have, Gemini, because at the end of the day, we have a choice. One thing that Geminis like to do, Geminis, I'm sorry, is y'all like to make not so good choices and then be shitty and mad at everybody else when there's a consequence for your not so good choice. Accountability. We all are adults here. We all have the understanding that when we make choices, that's universal law, cause and effect. Brush up on your universal laws. God created those. Ain't no man stopping shit when it comes to a universal law. Cause and effect. And that's 8 energy, and there's an 8 on this card. You reap what you sow. Well, it's 18, but you reap what you sow. So I need to remind you of a couple of things, because the number's 18. 1, whatever we think about, we create. Okay? So if I choose to think low vibrational thoughts about myself, that is where energy is going to go. And what will happen is I will start manifesting more of those feelings, more of those situations. The universe, which has an algorithm of its own, will start to set it up to where everything in my reality field, okay, confirms the bad feelings that I have about myself. Okay? So on the flip side of that, if I have these flaws, if I have these dark parts, if I have this dark past, if I have all of this, and I know I do, and I consciously choose to think good thoughts about myself, even though I have flaws, even though I'm not perfect, and God doesn't ask you to be perfect. He asked you to get whole, okay? We're already whole, but we lose so much here in this life that we literally give out parts of ourselves to people energetically, and before you know it, we don't know who we are, because now we're manufactured. We're what society told us who we are. That's why I said break this shit down to identity, honey. Break it down. If you're a black man in America, America has probably told you that a black man is this, that, and the third. Break that shit down. Because before that, black men were kings, okay? And I can say that with that conviction because that's what I study them as my people. But same thing. If you're native, I have some indigenous of my bloodline, I have 8% Irish, there's so many different parts and layers. So how are you going to let somebody else, anybody else, tell you who the fuck you are? And I'm not saying this for just people of color. I'm saying anybody. Break that shit down. If you have flaws, if you have things about yourself you don't like, but you choose to be a G, and you choose to think about that shit positively, the way the light hits the brain and the perception, because that's all it is. That's pretty much all it is. What our reality is, it's just affected by what is in our brain and the way that the sunlight, or the way that the light comes in our eyes and reflects back out. That's how we see what we see. That's why two different people could be in a room and, or could be in a situation and could view it two different ways, because depending on what's up here, the mind is a powerful tool. When you think about a computer, remember that this is the original design. Think about man created to computers to try to copy God's design. What was God's design? Us, the human brain, okay? If you find a way to think positive about those traits, about those flaws, you may start to see them differently. You'll start to feel differently about them. Not that when we choose to take in positivity, it lifts our vibration. Once we come up to the vibration of love, we are in our natural state and manifestation can take place. We're going to have to start doing shit that we feel good about. In order to do that, Gemini, we're going to have to start feeding ourselves with good messages. So, for instance, if you listen to straight up hood music, day in and day out, killing, shooting, stealing, stabbing, what do you think your thought process is going to be like? If you watched a couple inspirational videos, listen to your favorite pastor speak, even if it's just on Sunday, even if it's just one day, okay? If you've taken in some type of motivational or like a poetry or conscious music, conscious art, this starts to change. This is a computer, okay? Like the Matrix. This is a computer. Everything we take in is called a download, okay? So this is the hard drive. The hard drive is full. My hard drive, a person's hard drive, mine for instance, is full up to what I've learned over the past 32 years. Everything I've learned over the past 32 years. Back in 2012, and I don't even know how old I was at that time. I think I was like 23. Oh yeah, I was flipped around. That's crazy. Yeah, 23. That's crazy because I'm 32 and it's 2021 and 20. Okay, anyway. So, at 23, God, I'm losing my train of thought. At 23, I started, the spiritual journey. That's when I started to learn about like chakras. And I rode the wave because I grew up in a Christian family. So, when you explore anything that's not religious, immediately it's the devil. It's the devil. And I think Christianity and every other religion has done such a great fucking job of scaring people away from the truth. I can deal with ideologies. I have great sense of intuition, I believe, so I can feel when there's truth to things, but I can also feel when there's bullshit. I don't want to offend anybody, but like if you study enough, you'll see how this whole thing has went. Like it's just crazy. And then when you look into like African, for all my Caucasians, for all my people of different colors, if you want to learn yourself something and you want to be a part of the change, the systematic racism, if you want to speak up or you have mixed children and now you want to voice your shit, get into African spirituality. Okay. Learn about the oldest Bible in Ethiopia. Okay. Learn about the books that were taken out of the Bible. Went from 88 to 66. Okay. Do your research. Okay. But whatever it is, my point is, it's not about any of that. My point is, embrace the dark parts of yourself. Embrace the parts of yourself that you don't care for. I'm not saying if you're a hitter, go out and start shoot people in the street. That's not embracing that's not embracing the part of you that is dark. What the shadow part is, the parts of yourself that make you feel insecure, the parts of yourself that make you feel weak, the parts of yourself that you're not proud of, the parts of yourself that maybe in elementary school when you were shy or whatever you tried to hide because you didn't want people to see. The shadow self is just the part of yourself that you don't accept. That's what the shadow represents. The unseen, something you would like to keep hidden. That's why I feel, and if you look at the background, it's sun, your sun sign, moon, your moon sign. Get into the energy of figuring out what is your moon sign. If you want to know what your moon sign is, contact me and I can provide you with the information to find your moon sign. 6, know thyself. That's what that energy is. It's all about knowing yourself inside and out, up and down. Okay. And 2022 is nothing but that. So 1, we create what we think. the 8, you reap what you sow. As above, so below, as within, as without. You reap it. You reap what you sow. So you have to be conscious of, part of being conscious is being aware, okay? And most people aren't aware. Most of them are asleep. Most of them are dead because we're programmed to be that way. We have a system that puts in overtime to keep people sleeping. For example, the Ghislaine Maxwell case. We hear about it, but why isn't it this top tier news? Why isn't this all over every fucking breaking news? Why isn't this on my phone like breaking fucking news? Why? Why? Because it's something that's being kept in the shadow. Everything has a shadow. The moon has a shadow. But if you're unaware of what is in your shadows, how do you accept it? I feel like, Gemini, maybe there's a part of yourself that you're scared of, that you're afraid of. But you got to learn how to clink up with that part. Okay? 1 and 8 is 9. How can I be of service? If you are confused about who you are, if you are confused about your role, start feeding the higher self. How do you feed the higher self? Good actions. Doing good things for people, being of service for someone. We know you'll do it for the children. We know you'll do it for the kids, Gemini. But old people are actually the equivalent to children. Like older are senior citizens. You come in diapers, you leave out in diapers, okay? It's very much the same situation, except one has wisdom and one knows nothing because they have not learned anything yet. They haven't absorbed enough information. I won't say a child knows nothing, but it knows nothing of this place. Okay? It knows nothing. It has no fucking idea what it's coming here for. Now I think because there's rainbow babies, but another video, another time. Embrace that part and be of service, okay? Just because you've done bad things doesn't mean you can't be a good person. Just because you've done bad things doesn't mean you can't do good things. It doesn't mean you can't change and say, I'm going to do this now, okay? Embrace the part of you that you don't love. If you can't embrace that part, how are you going to introduce it to anybody else? Everyone wants love, but I feel like where you may have had walls up and not being able to let people in deep enough, you have to do it. Because if you let someone in deep and they fuck you over, you've got a decision to make, okay? 2, sacral chakra. Okay. So, 7 main chakras, okay? Now the tailbone, that is the root chakra. That is red. That is your stability, how safe you feel, whether you feel protected. You know, ages 0 through 7 if we want to associate it with age. That one I know for a fact, okay? Just a little demonstration. This, my little mommy pouches, that is the sacral chakra. That is our emotional center. That is where we feel sexual energy. That is where we identify our emotions. That's our gut. That is our intuition. You're softening up. You're softening up. I feel like you've always tried to keep a poker face, Gemini, because you don't want people to see you. I don't know if this stems from me. I feel like this stems from childhood. Like not feeling heard in childhood, or maybe like, I don't know if anyone was bullied or like made fun of, or like, and I feel like you've learned, or like you've had some really hard, you've seen some hard things, you've had some hard things, and like, you put up a block, an emotional block, because you don't want people to see you cry. You don't want people to see you that way because you don't want to feel weak. I feel like maybe some Capricorn moons, because Capricorns are all about, they feel like emotion makes them weak. Geminis, they just don't show emotion like that. You'll laugh, you'll play, you'll have a good time, but you don't show people emotions. That's not what you do. You're a leader, you're a boss. You don't let them see you weak at all. But part of being able to have something like this with a person, shit with yourself. Part of being able to accept the flaws of yourself is to take down that emotional block. It's almost like the emotional block has backfired, and instead of protecting people from getting in, you're also protecting your love and your emotions from getting out. So, for instance, if you're not a very emotional person, you may lack creativity, or you may lack sexual energy. Now, sexual energy and creative energy is made out of the same stuff, okay? If you're a super sexual person, you're also super creative. If you're a super creative person, then you're also a super sexual person. The light there is orange. If you are waning in that, if you feel like you're not in touch with your sexuality, you have no sex drive, you don't want to, or you just don't feel sexy, or if you have a wall up emotionally, you don't want to let people in, you don't want to come out, that means that your sacral chakra energy is probably low. So how do we raise that vibration? The quickest fix, oranges. Smell oranges. Orange aromatherapy. Eat orange. There's so many different colored bell peppers. Get you an orange bell pepper. Eat orange. Not artificially colored orange things, but like anything that's orange from the earth, you'll want to take that in. You'll want to wear orange, okay? If I have some women out there and you go to the nail shop, orange nails. I got orange, I think, because I'm a Cancer, and my orange has been like the move for me lately. But wear orange shirts, orange shoes, orange hat, wear a lot of orange, buy orange pajamas. Color carries vibration. Everything is a vibration. Color carries a vibration. So if something is the same color as that vibration, if two things are the same color, that means they carry the same vibration, because vibration, color is vibration, sound is vibration, everything is vibration. So one way to get into that vibration is to put yourself into that vibration consciously. I have 2 energy up on this sacral chakra card. It's the second chakra, but for me, I just get energy. I get learning to take the blocks down. Self-acceptance is going to be your theme for the month. Learning to accept yourself inside and out. Learning to love yourself inside and out. Learning to love all your flaws. Learning to love your body. Learning to love the things that when you were a child, you thought made you uncool or ugly or goofy, or You have to understand, Gemini, and I'm telling you this because I know you care about kids. When we as people have trauma, we as parents have trauma, and we don't heal those things in our DNA, because our children share our DNA, it is transferred. That self-hate, that lack of self-love is transferred into our children's DNA. This is taking place on an energetic level, so you don't see it and you don't know it. As we heal, our DNA changes. Not even that. We heal our lineage backwards and forwards. That is why I'm using this deck next. The angels and ancestors, okay? Feel like there's some work that needs to be done. I feel like you want the work. Open up. If you're giving out love, Gemini, to the right people, okay? Because some people are just fucked up, bottom line. But if you're giving out love, and I know Geminis, y'all naturally have a big heart. If you're giving out love to the right people, they will give it back. If they don't give it back, there ain't no like, oh, maybe if I tried a little harder. Oh, like, no, fuck them. Like, it's time to give it. It's time to wrap this shit up and give it to somebody else. And y'all know what I'm saying, because y'all don't take too much shit anyway. But one thing about love, or one thing about lack of self-love, is if we don't realize that we're already it, we search for it. And we are willing as humans to put up with so much shit from people that, you know, we'll do damn near do anything to get love. And it's just, it's not like that. Okay. Honor your inner knowing. Okay. So this is a medicine mother, okay? She looks of African descent, but she could be very well part of the indigenous. Kind of like a medicine man, but this is a medicine woman. Honor your inner knowing. That's 6 energy, because it's the higher self. It is time for you to start taking care of yourself, Gemini. I am not asking you. God's like requesting it. It is time to wrap this shit up and take care of yourself. You guys have messages to bring. And if you're still in your lower state of mind, your lower vibration, so this means if you're drinking frequently, if you're drugging frequently, and I'm not talking about like, when I say drugs, I mean man-made drugs. I mean hardcore, like crack cocaine, meth, fucking shit, ecstasies, like, because you don't know what's in this shit no more. You don't know. People, me and my aunt were just talking. People are dropping down left and right from fentanyl. You don't know. God provides medicine on this earth. This would be by like places like Cali, and I think it was either Oregon or Colorado, approved the use of medicinal mushrooms. I don't condone drug use, but I'm all about medicine, and I'm all about nature's medicine, okay? And if we were dealing with a medicine man, and this was the old days, he'd probably mix some shit up in a motherfucker and throw it, you know what I'm saying? Or make a little concoction for you to drink. And that's what they did. The Indians, they used mushrooms and shit. Like they had a special relationship with Mother Earth. So the medicine that they gave us, it wasn't no pharmaca ass bullshit. It wasn't medicine that they were giving us to distract our mind and to imprison our souls. They were giving us medicine to lift us up. If you have no knowledge of medicinal mushrooms for anxiety, for just, I mean, look it up. You study it and you let me know what you think. There are resources to get a hold of this for medicinal medicine. If you are a parent, this is nothing that you have to worry about being high around your children. This is not that. This is really one of those like take 2 and call me in the morning type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is for your spiritual well-being. Okay? Take care of yourself, because you're running yourself ragged, giving away pieces of yourself to people who don't deserve it, who don't deserve you. And the more energy you give out, the more energy you have here. And you need as much energy as possible to remember who you come from. It's time to go into hermit mode. It's time to sit in solitude. It's time to pray. It's time to meditate. It's time to talk to God like you ain't never talked to God before. It is time, Gemini. I love you so much. I hope you guys have a beautiful day.